Okay. Hello, everybody. Welcome. A little background. I'm the one holding the scores. These other three do not know until we go through them. We're going to be ranking shit from E3. So welcome to this. We're going to first start by giving a little background on each of us so you understand a bit better where we're coming from. Let's start with A11. A11, what were 3 games/franchises you loved or played the most growing up?
Okay, so my top 3, not necessarily favorite, but definitely played the most growing up, would be the Halo franchise. Absolutely love those games. Call of Duty, which I'm happy to say I've actually moved away from. And then the third would probably be the OG Pokemon games on the Game Boy.
All right, fair enough. Yeah. And now, what are the 3 games you've played the most this past year?
Well, this may come as no surprise to those that know me or watch my streams, but number 1 would be Apex Legends.
Wait, you play Apex?
I know. Shock! Second would probably be Destiny 2. And then, to be completely honest with you, there isn't really a third because Apex Legends is my main game and has been a lot over the past year.
Excellent.
So what I'm hearing is Apex, Destiny, and Apex Ranked.
Yeah, let's go with that.
Yeah.
That sounds about right.
That sounds about right, yeah.
Okay. Just going in the order of icons is how I'm doing this, so I guess I'll go next. The 3 games I played the most/loved the most growing up would be the Command & Conquer franchise, sports games, as I know a lot of people are going to go about, and Halo. Those were my 3. And the 3 I've played the most this past year are, shockingly, Destiny 2. Oh, God, I can't believe it.
What?
I know. Borderlands 3 has been very, very much consistently on the channel. And probably Squadrons, Star Wars Squadrons, which surprised the hell out of me and had a fantastic PvP mode.
Honestly, you and A11 are very, very predictable on your gameplay. I think
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. All right. So if we're going in order of icons, then it's me next. So my name's Liam, and I played Crash Bandicoot, Ratchet & Clank, and the Halo series as a kid growing up. I have a lot of fond memories of each and every single one of those games, especially Halo 3. And this year alone, I've been playing a fair amount of Halo and Ratchet & Clank. And if I had to pick a third game, I'd probably go with Siege, but I've been playing like a fuckload of games over the past year, so it's really hard to narrow it down to just 3 of the games.
Oh, you've just been abusing Mass Effect recently, so...
Yeah, but I only put 80 hours in. Was it? No, it was 105 hours into it, so it doesn't really count. Yeah.
Only, yeah.
I mean, the game came out like, 3 weeks ago? 105 hours, you can do that easily. It's basically a job.
Yeah.
Sounds healthy.
I mean, if you've been watching any of my streams recently, which you haven't because I don't stream, but if you have...
I'm actually there all the time.
He doesn't stream on Twitch. You have to find the stream.
Mixer.
I
stream on Mixer.
He streams on Chatterbait.
I stream exclusively on Mixer, which is really heartbreaking because it no longer operates, but I stream exclusively on that.
On the surface web, it no longer operates.
Oh God, let's not touch that one with the 10-foot pole. Thank you. Okay, well, I guess that leaves me. I'm the Ninja Bunny. You can call me Justin. I don't care. What I grew up with. So, I didn't really stick to a franchise growing up. Probably some of the things I played the most or most affected me was probably the original Rainbow Six Vegas was a huge one.
Okay.
Call of Duty Modern Warfare, the first one, particularly the first Modern Warfare, and surprisingly enough, probably Red Alert 2 those were probably my biggest ones growing up. Yes. Though there's a particular game, so not necessarily a series, but a game that I could revisit about once a year at this point.
Space Invaders.
I wish. Knights of the Old Republic. Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. I revisit like once a year. And what was the other question? I'm stupid.
3 games.
What are the 3 games you've played the most this past year?
Can I say Genshin Impact 3 times? Because I pretty much play that every single day. I'm sucked into the gacha.
The amount of times I've messaged Justin being like, "Hey, what are you up to?" and I'll get a message back just being like, "I'm just playing Genshin Impact. What's up, dude?"
Look. Apart from that, this year I'd say probably Persona 5 Strikers. I put a lot of time into this year. I'm still working on the perfection, and then I don't even know. I'm looking at my Steam library right now. What have I actually played this year? I actually put a decent amount of time into Dragon Age Inquisition this year, surprisingly.
What about Among Us?
Yeah, look, Among Us is a whole other level. That's something else to discuss at another point.
This is a wild beast.
Among Us. Okay,
Among
yeah.
Us.
So I think that's all of us. So Gentle, take us away.
All right, everyone. We're going to be talking about the ranking of Summer Game Fest. We have 30 things that we've decided to rank. If anything is missing from the ranking, it's because we decided it doesn't count. It's hardware, or it's just a simple game update like a patch that we deemed was not an actual new item.
Or it's a fucking movie during a game festival.
Well, then that I don't know who you'd be talking about with that one.
I didn't see Uncharted in here.
Oh no!
That's because Sony wasn't
That's for
here
you,
to begin
Greg.
with.
That's for you, Greg.
Also true. Also true.
Sony would have to be present for their exclusives to be here.
All right. So I'm going to vary up in what order we go about things. We'll start with number 30, which got an average score of 2.94. Overwatch 2. Let's go ahead and start with Liam.
So, I gave my personal... I'm allowed to give my personal scores for this, right?
Absolutely.
Cool. I gave this a very round, very even 4.75, and the reason why is because it's not my cup of tea. Like, if it's anything like the previous game, it's going to be fine, but I just don't give a shit.
Fair enough.
Absolutely fair. On A11?
So I gave this a 4 as of a few hours ago because I didn't rank it the first time.
Gentle, can I suggest that you put like the rating system on screen somewhere?
Oh, yeah. Overlays will happen. Don't worry.
No, could you display it for us?
I need to see this. And the reason I gave it a 4 was purely because Overwatch, fun game. I wouldn't really play it necessarily. But the reason I didn't give it like a 5 or a 6 was because they only showed character designs, and they looked great, but that's not showing me the game. So
fair enough. Ninja, you?
You guys are just way too nice.
It was shit.
I gave Overwatch 2 a solid 1. It can get right in the bin because it doesn't need to exist. Simple as that. It is there as a cash grab for them to make more money by saying, "Hey, look at the new shiny thing." No. It's not exactly the same as the old one. It's a new shiny one. Go buy that and spend all your money on that instead.
Correct. I gave this a solid 2, so I'm not much better. I just don't like Overwatch. Art style and the idea of like just that pure PvP isn't necessarily my thing, so that's all I have to say on that.
What did you say the overall rating for this was?
A 2.94.
Nice.
I think Gentle and I may have brought down the average. There's no grading on the curve here.
So number 29, Death Stranding Director's Cut. I'll go first. Same game, but probably just updated graphics for the new system. Blah. All right, moving on. Liam.
Wait, Gentle, what did you score it as?
Wait, what did you give it?
Oh, I'm sorry. Overall score was a 3.06. I gave it a 2.
Okay. I gave this game a very charitable 6.25. And I'd like to read my review here, which I think is very eloquent, which goes, Hideo offers an expanded look at Death Stranding. I didn't care much for the first time around, but fair fucks to him, he went for it. Death Stranding Director's Cut.
Hideo Kojima production.
Yeah.
Let's go to Ninja next.
Well, much like Gentle, I think I was charitable to give it a 2, quite frankly. I saw Kojima and thought, okay, so what content was cut from Death Stranding before it even came out, before we even showed what it was? And then they had this whole bit where they just stared at a box for 2 minutes, and I'm like, okay, no. This needs to be, this is done. It bored me the first time, and it's probably going to bore me this time anyway, so...
It was adorable though when he climbed in the box.
Yeah. he looked really cute in there.
He did look like a bean.
A11?
Well, I also gave it a 2. I don't understand the game. I don't know why anyone would want to play it. I don't know why you'd want to pay for an updated graphics version with bits in it that maybe should have been in the first game. So 2. And I thought that was generous as well.
Fuck, I was really generous then.
Yeah. 3 of us gave it 2. Liam gave it 6.25.
I want the developers of every game on this list to give me a personalized thank you note, because I'm bringing up your fucking averages right now.
All right, we're going to go to number 28 now. I believe you say this as the Imperacis. Sorry if that's wrong. We're going to start with Ninja.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Overall score was a 3.31.
I don't.
Now, Ninja.
I'll tell you what. I don't remember a damn thing about this, so I'm just gonna read my. It was so bland that my memory just said this doesn't exist anymore. My notes, however, say left for Ripley, so I'm assuming it looked like something out of Alien. Though I will say it's coming back to me a little bit reading my notes. It looks like a case of my first Unity asset pack.
Yeah.
It's the best way to describe it.
Fair. I'm gonna go ahead and jump in and take next. I gave this a 2, and all my notes say it's 100% not for me. And I don't remember what it looked like either, but I trust my notes. A11.
Okay, so I'm going to try and hope that I've got the right game here. And I'm going to try and explain what I think the game we're talking about is. I'm pretty sure it's the one that's set on the ship. And there's 4 characters. And it's like a horde mode with aliens. And I gave it a 4 purely because it had humor. I appreciated the humor. And I thought that with co-op with friends it could be fun. But overall I think there's so many better horde games coming out this year alone, which we'll get to later, which makes this game kind of obsolete.
Maybe that's why I said left for Ripley.
Yeah.
And the person absolutely very close to the group average.
Yep,
Liam.
so I gave this a very nice 3.25. Because everything about it was just bland, and I think I take an exceptional amount of pride in this next part because I seem to be the only one here who remembered such a forgettable entity that was the Anacrusis. Because everyone else here is struggling to remember it, and I'm just there like, it was so bland, so shit, that I'm going to remember it how bad it is so I can avoid the developer in future. Because the art and the gameplay were the best things of it, and they were below 5 on my rating. That's how bad it was. So this game holds no interest to me. I would probably go for like Back for Blood or something like that if I wanted a party game like that. Well, I say party game. Multiplayer game.
Yeah. We got you.
Yeah, like it just looks terrible.
All right.
3.25.
Alrighty. Yep. Number 27, 2-point campus with a group score of 3.38. What's so funny? A11, kick us off.
Why would you play this game? I gave it a 2. I would never touch it. If that's your kind of thing, fair play, but no. That's
Fair
it.
enough. I'm going to go next. I gave this a 5.
Why?
And I said, looks good. A bit too cartoony for me, but I like the idea of build-it-up games like Roller Coaster Tycoon was for me in my childhood. So it spoke to me in that way. Ninja, you're next.
Okay, so I also gave this a 2, and I still think I'm being nice about that. And my notes are basically, this is build your own Leisure Suit Larry game essentially at this point. It 2 Point Hospital was fine, but doing it just by saying, hey, we're going to do the same thing again, but now it's students on a university campus. It's boring. It looks dull. I'm sorry.
Liam, some positivity.
All right, if you want me to start off with a positive note, I think the sound design for the game was definitely the best element they showcased there. Like, there was a lot of out of everything that was featured, it was definitely the smoothest part of the whole thing. Like, it sounded great as a game. I gave it a 3. Because the art, the gameplay, and my intrigue and overall story that I could glean from it, which was nothing at all because it wasn't a story-based game, looked like shit. So it gets a 3 from me, and the comments and notes I have here read as, meh. Which I think sums up
Very
my
eloquent
attitude towards it. Yeah.
Very eloquent.
Yeah.
Fair play. Moving on, number 26, Wavebreak, with a group score of 3.5, and two of us here didn't even realize the game was being shown.
Exactly.
Was shown.
Really?
During the
You guys
show.
didn't realize?
I mean, I saw that it was a game, but I was like, I refuse to rate this because it's a music video, not a
It was a
game.
music video, not a game. That I agree.
So,
We'll go to music video, not a game people first, A11.
I believe I gave it a 1. After remembering the music video and Gentle reminded me there was gameplay in the background, I thought this looks terrible. Thank you.
I mean, fair. No, I guess that's me then. I actually was very nice to this one. I gave it a 4 just because I could imagine the four of us doing something really stupid in this game. Like, it looks like there's going to be a significant co-op focus. It looks like, hey, cartoony animal, Tony Hawk Pro Skate, or extreme sports racing, so I can imagine a bunch of stupid stuff, but the song was the best part, and it was best we weren't actually looking at the gameplay, so...
So is it me or you next, Gentle?
You go next.
Okay, cool. So I actually gave this one a 6, and I know the guys are going to question my logic for this, but I'm going to say that the art style, the gameplay, and my intrigue in it amounted to nothing. My interest in Weezer, though, brought it up to...
I was going to say.
I gave Weezer as a sound design choice a 9, and that brought it up to a 6.
Yep. You know what? That makes sense.
I mean, fair enough.
I think we can all agree that's the right choice to make here when grading Weezer.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's me done. It was, again, a 6 overall.
I gave it a 3. I liked the idea of DMCA-free music in the game, and other than that, I have nothing for it, honestly. So I don't have much love for it either. I just thought it had a neat thing in it.
Fair enough.
I was definitely
Moving
the nicest
on
person.
to number 25, Vampire the Masquerade Bloodhound,
Ooh.
with a score of 3.56.
Actually-
I'll go first.
Yeah, you go first.
Okay. I gave this a 2. And my notes are simply, vampire stuff is not for me. And I left it at that.
I was going to say you suck, but you'd probably run away from that as an argument.
Liam, why don't you go?
Oh, I'm next? Cool. I gave it a 6.25 overall because I was kind of interested in it, I'm not going to lie, but it didn't showcase any gameplay as far as I remember. So I gave that a mediocre score, and I'm still waiting to hear more about it. But I'll keep my eye on it. It's kind of interesting, won't lie.
Okay. Ninja?
I want this thing to get in the bin. Simply because... so it's got a 1 from me. Simply because I am a big fan of Vampire the Masquerade, especially things like Bloodlines and the tabletop game. So why would you take Vampire the Masquerade, one of the most versatile IPs, and turn it into a battle royale shooty-shooty? Just why? You basically said, hey, you guys are all fans of this great IP, right? You've got a new game coming up soon in it, right? Well, here's what we're going to give you, and we're just going to take the whole premise of the game and throw it out the window. Have fun. Honestly. Get in the bin with you.
A11.
I'm going to be completely honest, and I just thought the trailer looked really cool. So I gave it a 5, but I don't know what kind of... I don't think they specified what kind of game/gameplay we're going to get. So that's why I put a 5. I put wait to see more. If it does turn out to be like a battle royale, then, I mean, that score will drastically change downwards.
Are you sure, Mr. Apex?
Unless it's like the best battle... I mean, that's the thing. I compare every battle royale to Apex. So unless it's like the best battle royale of all time... I don't think it's going to compete. So, but for now, 5. Wait to see more. Liked the trailer.
Alrighty. Ready for number 24 is Chicory, A Colorful Tale, group score of 3.56. The reason why it's above Vampires, because if I added more decimal points, I think it sorts as above. Yeah, I guess Liam, you go ahead and start us on this one.
Yeah, sure. So I gave I don't know if it's chicory or chicory. I think it's chicory. A Colorful Tale. I gave that a 5.25. My intrigue in the game is next to nothing, as is the gameplay. But the art style and sound design I thought were very on point. It's a very unique looking experience, and it certainly looks fun, but it's also not something I think I'd enjoy personally speaking. Which is why it's only a 5.25.
Fair enough. I'll go next. I gave this a 3. It's very bright, colorful. I'd hand it to my kids to play on a tablet or something, but that's about it. A11.
So I gave it a 2. Purely because I would never play this game ever. I actually put snooze in my notes because but I will say it was a beautiful looking game, and if I was scoring it purely on looks, it would be much higher, but as an overall game, no.
Or if they made it a battle royale.
Well, it could be. I might be a 10 then. Not gonna lie, could be a 10.
Fair enough. I guess that
Ninja?
leaves me. I gave it a 4, simply because everyone knows that I'm probably the person that plays the most indie games out of all of us. But all my notes really say is artsy indie game. That's it. It's just because that's all it really is. It's just another artsy indie game. So it's it's essentially the indie equivalent of Oscar bait. So
Alrighty. Moving along, number 23. Sky, Children of the Light, group score of 363. We're going to go to A11 first.
I gave it a 2. It's not for me. Another one that I won't touch. That's all I gotta say.
Fair enough. Liam?
I gave it a 6.5. It looks solid, but my intrigue in it as a person isn't that high. I thought the sound and the art style were very good, though. That really brought together the game overall and gave it a higher score. But 6.5.
I gave it a 2, and my notes just say anime, so I don't think I thought a lot of it.
gentle alienating the audience.
Yep.
Not that I'm against anime. I like it. Just that's all I wrote. So I'm like, okay, I guess I didn't have many other thoughts. Ninja?
I completely didn't even realize this was a new game.
It's not. It's just a port.
Oh, it was just
Yeah.
well, I gave it a solid 4 because I just don't care. That's it. I just don't care. It's just there. I literally looked at the trailer just before this and gave Gentle a ranking. Essentially, flipped a coin on things. So
Fair. We're going to go ahead and jump on to number 22 now. Evil Dead the Game with a group score of 3.81. Liam, start us off.
Fuck. I just barely found my ranking. So I gave this a total score of 6.25. I thought, to be fair, I thought this game looked very much like Friday the 13th or even Dead by Daylight if it was dumbed down a little bit. I didn't want to rank it too high, but when I heard Bruce Campbell's smooth, silky tones come across that mic, I knew I had to rank it a bit higher. So I gave the sound design a solid 7 right there, because Bruce Campbell is always a win.
Fair. I'm going to go next. I gave it a 3. I'm not an Evil Dead franchise fan, but this looked really well made. I'm just simply not into it, which is why I gave it a 3 instead of a 2. I'm going to pass it to Ninja.
well, I gave it the 2. The only reason I got a 2 and not a 1 was, as Liam said, Bruce Campbell's silky smooth dulcet tones. Because, to be fair, I like Evil Dead. And I just, all I see is just Friday the 13th and that utter train wreck in the making all over again. To be quite frank, my notes actually say, didn't people learn from Friday the 13th? So, that should say everything.
Fair enough. A11, bring us home.
I feel, having reflected, I feel like I was slightly generous. I gave it a 4, but yeah, I feel like it looks like a worse version of like a Dead by Daylight. In any event, it's not a game I'd play. I don't really do those kind of horror-y vibe games. So yeah, give it a 4.
Alrighty. Gonna move us on to. We're getting into the group scores above 4 now, everybody.
Yeah.
So we're getting into the group scores that are around a solid meh.
We're getting into the group scores where we all know I carried us through into the higher range.
Number 21, the Tarkov update / expansion with a 4.25. I'll start off. I gave this a 5. I watch a lot of Tarkov. I don't play it. And this expansion being in a more city, more dense building area looked pretty cool. It still isn't enough to draw me into playing Tarkov, but it's gotten closer to drawing me in with how this looks. Ninja?
I didn't even know we were ranking this, quite frankly, so I had to watch it again this afternoon. This is, by the way, the Summer Game Fest is the only show I've had to rewatch anything for, really. So, I gave it a 2, because could not be less interested. The map looks like a generic, post-apocalypse bombed-out city map. You can literally find that essentially pre-made on any asset kit. So, from my side, not really interested, frankly. Not saying they pre-made it. Not saying they pre-made it before anyone freaks out and comes to burn my house down.
I gave it a 5. I also tend to watch Tarkov streams. It's not a game that I would play because it's just far too intense for me. But I think fans will love it, and I'm sure that I will enjoy watching fans love it. So yeah, solid 5. But it wouldn't make me jump in and play it.
Liam,
I'm in the same boat as Justin here. I didn't realize we had to rank it until this afternoon. So I'm going to read what Liam from about 5 hours ago wrote in the notes here. I felt it really didn't warrant a ranking, but it was asked of me in the revision. I was treating it similarly to how we were treating seasonal updates. However, as I was asked to rectify this in post, I wrote all this so you guys would have to listen to me ramble about it. So here I am! That's it.
I agree with you completely.
Okay. Okay. That's all I can say, really. We're going to go on to number 20, Jurassic World Evolution 2.
Oh, yes.
Group score 4.25.
I'm just looking for my ranking. Okay.
I'll start. I gave it a 3. I don't have a lot to say on it. Just another Jurassic franchise entry. I'm just going to go ahead and pass it to Ninja now.
I too gave it a 3. Simply because of Jeff Goldblum. It's the only reason I got a 3. The footage is all pre-rendered. We've got nothing really there, so it doesn't really. It honestly would have gotten a 2 if it wasn't for having Jeff Goldblum there. So.
I'm gonna pass to Liam now.
So as I've done with pretty much everything that I haven't seen proper gameplay for, I've given it a 5 for the gameplay. The overall score I gave it was a 7. And that's because the sound design I gave a solid fucking 10, because the 10 is only there for Jeff Goldblum. And that's all I've written in my notes, is that the 10 is only there for Jeff Goldblum.
A11, bring us home.
Just get past that, cool.
Gave it a 4. Jurassic Park. I love Jurassic Park. Great films. Jurassic World or Jurassic Park Evolution. I can't remember what the first one was called. That was an okay game if you liked, park sim buildy type games. So I'm sure this one will be the same, except for I think they said they're adding different types of dinosaurs in, like aquatic and that sort of thing. So if you liked the first one, you're probably going to love this one. I didn't play the first one. I won't play this one, but I appreciate Jurassic Park, so 4.
And we all appreciate Jeff Goldblum.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
All right. Moving on, the group score goes up, A11 score goes down. Number 19, Dark Pictures Anthology, House of Ashes, 4.31. Let's start with Wolfie Boy.
I gave this a 2. My notes say, no, in bold. Horror games can leave me be, thank you. And that's all I got.
Sorry, I'm still losing my shit over that introduction. Group score goes up, A11 goes down. I gave this game a 6.25, and my notes only read, seems kind of freaky, I'm into it. Mostly because I have no issues with horror. I'll watch horror movies. I love slasher movies, and I love zombie movies and that sort of thing. And this game, I don't know, I just like the look of it. Probably won't get it, but I like the look of it.
Yeah, same. Liam had the highest score for this. I gave it a 5. I don't think I'm picking this up. It would have to be some sort of like Halloween challenge or something. But I'm looking forward to streams of this and watching it in action. Ninja?
I gave it a 4. I kind of want to drop my score lower after Bandai Namco.
Preach it.
Yeah, we'll touch on that a little bit later. I said, look, the game looks pretty. It looks better than any of the other things they've made for the Dark Picture so far. And I just kind of think it's really funny to watch the military guys not be uber gods against monsters at this point, and have the monster utterly destroy them. That's about all I got. Like, I'm not going to buy this. I'm not interested in it. I'm not going to do anything with it, so... Oh, and I gave it a 4. That was the one thing I forgot to say.
Oh, that's okay. All right. Number 18. Metal Slug Tactics. Group score of 4.31.
Sorry about that.
A11, start us again.
2, no, just Y.
Okay, that's it.
Eloquently put.
What was your individual
Eloquently
score? Or was that just you telling Gentle you don't want to review the game? what happened there?
Yeah.
I gave it a 2.
He gave it a 2.
I gave it a 2.
So. Liam?
I was, again, very generous because of how my ranking system works. I gave it a 6.25. Like, it looks interesting if you're into that kind of game, but I don't see it as one that I'd overall enjoy, which is why the intrigue for me was down to a 2. I just didn't like it, personally speaking. But if you're into that kind of game, 6.25. Take that as you will.
Excellent. I gave it a 5. I assume this is a tactics game like XCOM. Boy, I don't know what the hell happened there. It's unclear to me. I don't fully know how the gameplay is going to work in this, but it looked kind of interesting to me. Ninja?
I gave it a 4. Gentle, it doesn't look anything like XCOM. It looks like Advance Wars, which we saw in another thing. Look, I'm glad SNK is actually doing something with their franchises, but I thought there was like a Persona crossover for a moment, because Theo looked worryingly like Futaba from Persona 5 initially, and that just basically, my whole ranking was just me comparing the two of them. So, yeah, 4. Not interested, really.
Can you send me a 40-page novella when you're done with it?
It's not really much. It just is, she's not Futaba from Persona 5, okay? I just basically couldn't look at anything else after that.
Also, I didn't know what Advance Wars was until that later show we'll get to another time.
Yeah, same.
Gentle.
Same. I'm same.
I'm also the same.
In retrospect,
Oh my god.
In retrospect, I agree.
I am the only true gamer here. No, that's not true.
So, just moving along. Number 17 was Tunic with a 4.44. I gave this a 3 and said it was colorful and cute. That's it from me. Let's go to Liam.
6.75. It's a cute little fox is all I've got written here. And you know what? I stand by that assessment, and I will fucking die on this hill. That deserves it for the cute fox.
Ninja?
I gave it a 4. However, my notes do say cute fox, 11 out of 10.
Yes!
It's basically a Legend of Zelda game with little fairy animals, so I could not be less interested because I'm not really into Legend of Zelda, so...
Alright. That'll cause you some of your own heat to
yeah,
handle.
I'm
but
ready.
alright.
Can't wait for that
fired.
Nintendo fucking press junket you're releasing.
A11.
I gave it a 4. I think we all agree that the game looks like beautiful, but I won't ever play it.
Number 16, Monster Hunter Stories 2, being ported to the Switch. A 4.44 overall score as well. I gave this a 2. Monster Hunter franchise has just failed to intrigue me, really. That's all the reasoning behind my score. Ninja.
Yeah, okay, so this is one of the few times that Ninja's been nice in these things. So I actually recently started playing the original Monster Hunter stories. Yeah, I'm also the most biased towards Monster Hunter person that exists, so I can't really give it a fair objective ranking just because I want to ride a Tigrix and call him Chips. That's all I'm going to say about it. It's a JRPG Monster Hunter, so I'm literally the target audience.
And that will be the case for some things, where it appeals to one of us and not all of us. A11, how do you feel?
I gave it a 2. I liked Monster Hunter World. That's right, isn't it? That's the one I'm thinking of.
Yeah, that's the one we played together, yeah.
That game was great. This game, no. Just no. Stick to Monster Hunter World.
I gave this game a whopping 5.75. And in the extensive notes I've got written here, I said, seemed aight.
I mean, fair.
That's it. That's all I got for you, Chief. Don't know what more you expect from this one.
Don't worry, we've got 2 more attempts later.
Yay!
All right, Liam, why don't you start us off with number 15 here, D&D Dark Alliance, which got a group score of 4.6.
Well, I don't know why you're addressing me specifically. I've never expressed an interest in anything related to D&D before. For anyone who knows me, that's true. I gave it a 6.5, and the reason why is because I thought a party-based hack and slash, like I'm intrigued by it, but I'm not overall enticed to get it. So I'd probably wait for like a sale or if someone gifted it to me. But it looks relatively fun.
Ninja.
In sheer contrast, I gave it a 2. I said it looks like it could be fun with friends. However, the way that the inventory system and stuff we saw while I was going had me a little concerned. It looks like they're trying to do a looter shooter with D&D melee combat, and I don't know. It's something about it just didn't sit right with me.
A11.
So, I gave this bad boy a 7. My reason being, I liked the look of it. I liked, it kind of gave me Diablo-esque vibes. And then I found out it was on Game Pass. And I was like, I have Game Pass, so I won't actually have to buy this game. So when it hits Game Pass, sure, yes, I will download it. I will play it. It looks like it'll be fun with friends. Thank you very much, Microsoft.
Oh shit, it's on Game Pass. Hey,
That's a good
play it
shout.
together.
They're going
Yep.
to take advantage of that then.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Didn't realize that, actually. Doesn't change my score, but
So, yeah,
still.
7.
Right. I gave this a 3. It just wasn't something for me. This one, there was almost no one in the middle ground. There's 2 people who loved it and 2 people who were like, eh. My score being 3 is the closest to the group, but yeah, it just wasn't for me. I'm going to move us to number 14 now. Lost Ark, which got a group score of 4.81. We're in the top half of the list now, but still not over a 5-0 group.
Oh, that's his lot.
We're never gonna get over
Right.
if Justin's in the group. Just gonna let that be known now. Like every time you're gonna be like, yeah, this is the highest we got. It's 5.93. Justin, let's start off with you.
It's true. It was our fault on the one where he gave an 8.
Oh, interesting.
For Lost Ark, I gave this a 5. I said cool trailer. Art style seems like wow to me. But otherwise, I don't have too much to say about it. I'm going to pass over to A11.
Very similar, actually. I thought the trailer... I put hype trailer, so I gave it a 5. I think mainly off the trailer. It's an MMO, so I don't really have time for MMOs with work, life, and Apex. But I will keep an eye on it. If I ever get some free time, I might pick it up and play it. So 5 from me.
So I want to take a quick moment before we continue. Sorry to just commend A11 on being able to differentiate between life and Apex. So
thank you. It is hard sometimes. Very hard.
Apex is life.
Okay, so for me, I gave it a 4. I said it looked a bit like Diablo crosses some Monster Hunter there. But apart from that, if it's Diablo style, I'm completely down to give it a try, especially since it's free to play. Which they did confirm, thankfully. Apart from that, it just looks like another attempt at a dungeon crawler to me. But if it's like an MMO WoW style, then it's going to get a significant decrease in score from me, to be honest.
And Liam.
I gave it a 5.25, and my notes here aren't very extensive, and I don't blame past Liam for this because I barely fucking remember it. But I wrote, doesn't exactly make me want to play it. Sorry, that was written as a question. Doesn't exactly make me want to play it. So,
you know what? Fair enough.
Yeah, fair.
All right, number 13. Still not above 5.0. We gave this a 4.88. Planet of Lana.
We're taking a 15-minute break when we get over 5, right?
I gave this a 2. It's not for me. Let's go to Liam.
I gave it a 6.5, and I wrote, looks solid, and that's about it. Doesn't have my interest.
Ninja.
Sorry, was that me?
No, Ninja.
Ninja.
Oh, it's me. I gave it a 5, and my notes just say artsy indie game 2, Electric Boogaloo, because I get the exact same vibes I did with Chicory, that it's artsy indie game. So, what else is there to say about it?
A11.
I gave this a 5. I think the game looks beautiful. Like, the art style is, I mean, I can't fault it really. But it's not something I'm going to play. So I appreciated the game, but I won't play it.
Okay. All right, everyone. Moving on to number 12. Will this be above 5.0? No. It'll be
We're still not above
It's
5.
Solar Ash with 4.94 group score. A11?
To be honest with you, I actually don't remember what this game was. I did, however, give it a 4. And my notes just say, not my kind of game. So, I can't remember the game, so that's all I got.
Alrighty.
Says enough for me.
Liam.
I gave this a whopping 6.75. And I wrote in my notes, the world and art style of Solar Ash intrigued me enough to want to check it out at some point. Which is ironic, like, this is me adding it on now in current times, which is ironic because I barely fucking remember it. I had to Google it to just get a refresh on what it looked like, and I stand by what I wrote.
Okay. I gave this a 4. All my notes say is very colorful. And just mad at me. Ninja?
I gave this one a 5. And, you know, I probably remember the most about this one because it stood in my mind because it looks like Shadow of the Colossus crossed with Fury. So for me, that's not a bad combination, even though I have not played Shadow of the Colossus yet. You know, could be good. Depends on if it's all boss fights like is Shadow of the Colossus, or if it's or even Fury is the same way. So, you know, it's got potential. So we'll have to wait and see.
We're at number 11, fellas.
Are we gonna do it?
Are we
Are we gonna do it?
No, we're not. I hope the top 10 is where we go for.
On the mark.
We cracked
Number
5.
11, Endless Dungeon, 5.0 on the dot. With no help from me, I gave this a 3 and just said it looks like another horde shooter.
So you're the reason our score went down.
You blaming me? You were blaming me as well.
Well, let's go to A11 next.
I gave this a 4. And I did not make any notes on this, which means I'm really not interested whatsoever, and 4 might have been generous. Sorry. I don't remember the game, so I'll just 4.
Liam.
I gave this game a 7, and having just Googled an image of it to refresh myself on why, I now question my own sanity at the time. But I gave it a 7 regardless, and that's the score I have to stick with. And I wrote my notes pretty interested, not gonna lie, so I want to know what I was smoking back then. But that's my score, it's a 7.
Ninja.
Liam, I don't know what you were smoking, but I may have been joining you at this point. I gave it a 6, and I'm thinking back now, I think it looked like a really fun twin-stick shooter, and I like twin-stick shooters because of things like Binding of Isaac and the like, so for me, I'm always going to give twin-stick shooters a go because I just really like them. So,
Yeah. Okay.
So the top
We're
10
in the
has
top
now
10
crossed
territory.
5.
Top 10. And for this score, for people who appreciate it being this high, thank only Liam.
Yes.
10 is Sable with a 5.0. We're going to start with Liam.
Oh, thank God. So I already know the others have ranked it really low based off what Gentle just said. But the reason I ranked this so high, and it's actually like in my list of notes, is the first one I gave an actual proper like opinion on. I wrote, Michelle's haunting vocals over the unique art style of this cartoon-like world has roused my interest, and I cannot wait to explore the world in depth. And I gave the art style, the gameplay, the sound design, and the story intrigue scores ranging from 9 to 7, with the average score being an 8, because I'm very interested in Sable. And now for everyone who ranked it 3 or lower.
Fair enough. Well, no, Liam, here's the thing. Gentle, may I take a go?
Yeah, go ahead.
I ranked this as a 4. I'm not a fan of them having a music video as part of the trailer. However, the game looks great. It looks like Journey is done by Studio Ghibli. So, for me, it looks like it could be interesting, at least from my side.
I also gave it a 4. I said, doesn't look for me, but also not sure what type of game it is. A11.
I also gave it a 4. I think again it looks like a beautiful game. Like it's pretty, but I won't play it. It's not my kind of game.
I want to point out, by the way, guys, you're all using 4 as like the neutral score when 5 literally says I am neutral.
4 is a solid net.
Five for me is I'm neutral to the point of I haven't been convinced whether I want to buy it yet. So 4 is like that. I know I'm not going to buy it, but the game looks good.
Yeah,
That's
I agree with that.
That's how I do it.
I probably should have thought these through when I came up with this list. The lists of the rankings a little bit better. But anyway,
Too late.
Alright.
We're going to number 9 now. Tribes of Midgard with a 5.25 group score. This looks like it might be the closest we've all been to being on literally the exact same page. So we'll again start with the outlier, Ninja.
Wait, was I the out? Please tell me I wasn't the high outlier.
You were a high outlier.
Yes. This bodes well.
This happened twice once. So I'll be honest. I really love Norse mythology and that kind of thing, so that kind of thing sticks out to me quite a lot. The art style is nice. It doesn't necessarily look completely hack and slash as much as RTX or Twin Stick. The only thing that really gets me, that stopped me scoring any higher, was that it looks like it's got a massive co-op focus rather than single player with co-op as an option. And that just gets me every time. It's something that I can't stand. So, 6. Not gonna get higher than that.
I'll kick off the next group of numbers. So I gave it a 5. I said actually interesting. Not sure I'd play it, but I also have that interest in Norse mythology, which makes me think about it probably more than I'd give a similar chance to any other game. A11.
So yeah, 5. Exactly the same thought process. Mythology in general, I find fascinating. Norse is one of those. And I put that it could be fun with friends. So I was kind of thinking along the lines, if friends picked it up and were like, "Oh, you know, I'm enjoying this game. You should play it." Then that would be the thing that would be the tipping point to push it over for me to get it. But otherwise, I wouldn't play it. Like Ninja said, it solo. I don't think it would work as well.
Liam.
Well, as Justin was the highest scoring outlier, I am the lowest scoring outlier. I gave it a 5. I said it looks meh. Like, I have an interest in Norse mythology, same as everyone here, but there was something about the game that I just didn't like the look of, and I don't want to play it.
That's
You
completely
didn't
fair,
like
yeah.
the cut of
Yeah,
it.
it didn't do well. It didn't do well in its job interview, and it's not getting a call back.
Hey, you know what did well to even get an interview in the first place?
Fair play. Okay, we are moving on to number 8, Chivalry 2, with a 5.75. I will start. I gave this a 6. I said, looks great. Just think I'd rather play For Honor again, though. Ninja?
Gentle, they are two completely different game types.
They really are.
Do you even know? Do you know how Chivalry plays?
Gentle.
I know it's different, but it just, instead of playing that combat, it just makes me want to play like old warrior combat in For Honor again instead.
Gentle really took a look at Halo 3 and went, "Hey guys, I feel like playing Call of Duty Modern Warfare instead."
That's exactly what it is. Okay. So,
You didn't know me in high school.
so I gave it a 4 because I played the original Chivalry a little bit, usually on free weekends on Steam, but it doesn't really grab me. It can be fun for a bit, especially if you got a bunch of friends in like some private matches, but overall, it's just the same thing again, looking prettier. So
A11.
Well, I think I might be the higher one here. I gave it a 7. Swords and gore, heck yeah. First of all, I said I would pick this up at some point, but on reflection, it would all come down to time. I don't think it would be like up there as like the next 5 games I'd buy or something. But what kind of put that score a little bit up for me was they said during the trailer announcement thing that they were going to double the size of the game for free. So I thought that was quite cool.
That is good.
So that's why it kind of got a 7. Because I think the game looks fun, and I would definitely try and play it at some point. And yeah, the doubling it in size for free was an added bonus.
I wish someone doubled me in size. Yes, sir. I gave it a 6. Same as Gentle. Exact same score. Mine was for the justification that I love the idea of sword combat, and gore is always fucking fun. But at the same time, I wouldn't really be interested in it unless I was guaranteed to have people who'd play the game with me. Because I'd rather go in with a group of friends and just take the piss out of it, like with Holdfast or something like that, rather than just sit there and be confused.
All right, lads. We thinking number 7's above
Nope.
6?
God, I hope it is. Because I don't know what it is, but the stuff that's remaining on my list, I really hope is doing all right.
Yes, I was right!
So
Number
close.
7, Salt and Sacrifice with a 5.94. We're going to go ahead and start with A11.
Yeah, I'm just going to quickly look at what the game is. Because I can't remember.
That's okay. That's okay.
Salt and Sacrifice, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So, I thought it looked like it could be a good game. Looks like it could be fun. I don't have a PlayStation, so I won't ever get this or play this game, but I did give it a 5, so I was generous on that front.
Isn't it on PC as well?
It didn't seem to say so in the announcement. It said it was PS5, PS4.
Oh, okay. Well, that sucks.
But, I mean, if it is, then, maybe I would pick it up. But I think it's just PlayStation.
Yeah, I don't know either. Was Salt and Sanctuary multi-platform?
Soul and Sanctuary is on PC and on Switch.
Then this probably will be if it's not now. Okay. I might be wrong. I don't know anything. People
Salt and
scream
Sacrifice
at
is coming to
comments.
PlayStation consoles in 2022. Doesn't say anything about any
It's
other
timed exclusivity
platforms.
again.
Sony stuck their hands in the anus of the makers.
Shit. What was that? Natalie?
Liam.
Sorry. So, much like with the creators, someone stuck their hand inside my anus when I was writing this interview. Or, not interview, review. Fuck. I gave it a 6.75. Overall, I think this game is enjoyable, if nothing more than for the gameplay and art style it offers. I probably won't pick it up, personally. But at the same time, unlike everyone else here, because they're all biased, mine's like an objective review. Like, that, I was being a dick there.
So was mine.
Sir, yeah, I beg to differ. But no, like I said, 6.75 for this game. I just don't know if I want to pick it up.
I can be objective. This game is shit because I don't like it. Anyway, not for real.
But seriously.
Someone isolate that audio clip and make it an alert.
No. I gave this a 6. I said pretty good. I'm unsure if it's my thing enough. An in-depth stat system might push my interest higher, But I'm sitting at 6, and Ninja, go.
I too am sitting at 6 because I really like the original Salt and Sanctuary. However, unlike Gentle, one of my notes says 7.8 out of 10. Too many stats. Yeah, the stat system in these games are insane. It's just ridiculous. It's basically a 2D Dark Souls with platforming. That's the only way to describe it. Everything works like a Dark Souls game. At least based on the original Salt and Sanctuary. You know what? I'll give it a go when it comes out. Maybe on a sale though, and it really, especially if it comes out to PC. If it's just on PlayStation, probably not. So.
Okay. Moving on to number 6. I'll go first because I'm probably taking the most flack on this one, honestly.
Oh yeah, you're taking all the flack. You are taking every bit of flack for this one.
Tales of Arise, 6.25 group score. I gave it a 2. I just have no interest level in this. Not a 1, because I respect what it is, and I know people are going to love this. But it's just too outside of my interest range. Let's go to A11.
A 2? Oh my god, I gave it an 8. I gave the game an 8. I've not actually played a Tales game, but this one looks fantastic. The combat looks really fun, and I'm intrigued by the story. So, yep, I'm getting it. I think this is another one that's potentially coming to Game Pass as well.
I believe it might be some of the other Tales games.
So,
on Game Pass
so for me, that makes it a no-brainer. If it's on Game Pass, I will play it day one.
Liam?
I gave this a 7. I just want to say to Gentle, you're lucky I don't remember enough about this game to critique you on your critique. But I gave it a 7 anyway, and it's piqued my interest. I thought the art style and sound design, as well as the story, really grabbed me when I was watching it. The gameplay I wasn't really too fussed on, but at the end of the day, you don't really need... games are weird. You can have a great story and shit gameplay, or shit gameplay and a great story.
Didn't you say the same thing twice?
Yep.
Okay. Took me a moment.
Ninja?
Much like A11, I gave this an 8. I'm actually very surprised that A11 agrees with me, considering this is a JRPG. Personally, I've been waiting for this game since the last E3, that thing that we did. I was excited about it then, I'm excited about it now. I've actually played Tales games now, and it looks like, to me, a distillation and refinement of everything we saw in Tales of Berseria, which is the one I played recently. It just looks good. It looks like a lot of fun. It looks like the combat system is just in-depth and different. Yeah, I'm playing this day one, regardless if it's Game Pass or not, most likely. Provided I can afford it at the time.
All right. We're moving on to the top 5. The group score is still not above a 7, though.
Did any of it score above a 7 at this point?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We'll get there. So, number 5 is Tiny Tina's Wonderlands with a 6.31. We all scored very close to each other on
shit,
this
I have
one.
to go looking for this one.
I'll start. So, it's not an actual, in terms of story, Borderlands entry. This is its own side branch type thing. So Borderlands art style, most of the mechanics look like they might be the same. There's the introduction of magic now that you can do in the game, more in-depth character customization, and all that sounds really interesting. I gave this a 6. I don't think I'd pick this up, but it's so close to Borderlands where I probably could and still have a very fun time with this. But yeah, very much like first fully fledged Borderlands game that's not Borderlands. Ninja.
So I also gave this a 6. I'm happy that Andy Sandberg's in it as one of the voices, because Brooklyn Nine-Nine is wonderful and everyone should go watch it immediately. It reminds me of the Tiny Tina's Assault on Dragon's Keep DLC from Borderlands 2, and the fact that they took that concept and made it a full game. I think that's cool, but at the same time, I'm very concerned that it's just going to become an utter mess. So, I'll be cautiously optimistic for this one.
A11.
I'm being cautiously optimistic. I gave it a 7. Borderlands, fun games. I do enjoy them. I haven't played 3 as much as I should, and you guys will shoot me for that, but that's okay. I love Borderlands art style, so that's a plus. I hope the game kind of goes down the crazy Borderlands route, but in a more... I'd love to see more melee focused combat. If they're going down like this dragons and magic and that sort of thing, I'd like to see swords and crazy swords and shields and all that sort of thing. I think that'd be really cool to see. So I've given it a 7, but if it doesn't go the way that I hope it goes, then I won't pick it up. But if it does, then I'll definitely pick it up.
Liam.
I gave it a 6.25, which, now that I say it out loud, is why I'm going last in this review, because I was the closest one to the actual group score. Anyway, D&D and Borderlands, I think is a great choice, and I'm looking forward to playing it. I'm not sure how it's going to shape up in practice, but in theory, it seems like a fucking stellar idea. And that's it.
Oh, yeah. All right. Number 4, based on the title, it seems too perfect this one landed here. Is Back 4 Blood with a group score of 6.38. Since we're in the top 5 now, and I don't want negativity to persist, I'll go first. I gave it a 2.
I was about to say Gentle adjusted his score to make it sure that it was number 4.
I didn't do any score adjustments post seeing yours. I gave it a 2 because I just don't like the zombie horde shooting game. I'm sorry, they just bore me. I don't feel the interest. However, you all loved it, so we're gonna go on to you guys now. Let's go to Liam.
Yeah, Back 4 Blood. I mean, what more is there to say? I loved playing Left 4 Dead and Left 4 Dead 2 when I was growing up, and I really wanted Evolve to be like Left 4 Dead when it first came out. Like, what was it, like 7 years ago, 8 years ago now? And that just, it fell apart almost upon release. So I'm really glad that the original creators of Left 4 Dead, despite the setback of Evolve, have decided to move on to Back 4 Blood, and it looks like it's going to be a lot of fun.
Ninja.
I actually had to find my review for this because I only had the review in the Microsoft conference for this one. I think I skipped it by accident in Summer Games, but it's fine. Because it's essentially going to be the same regardless either way. I think this game exists simply because Valve can't count to 3. It looks like fun horde gameplay. It's more Left 4 Dead kind of style. And, that's always going to be a blast at people. So yeah, I've given it a 6 from my side, and I hope that they have the strong AI director.
A11, your turn.
10. 10. It's Left 4 Dead. I put 2.0, but there is obviously a Left 4 Dead 2, so maybe it's 3.0. And again, I'm gonna toot this horn like all day. It's on Game Pass day 1. There is no excuse. There's no reason not to pick it up. So it's a solid 10 from me. I can't wait for it to come out. I can't wait to die over and over again to the zombie horde with my friends. Bring it on.
What if you're in hospital?
Xbox sponsor the man.
I'm taking this hostel with me.
What he said? I just have to ask.
All right, gentlemen, ready for top 3?
Yeah, hit us with it.
Which,
Heck yeah.
by the way, I'm really confused by the top 3 because I also have 4 actual games and 1 shitpost. So I know the shitpost didn't make it in, but I'm wondering how we're in the top 3 when I've got 4 games here.
Oh, yeah, if you have something on your list that we don't talk about here, no, it got dropped because you were the only person who scored it and the other 3 didn't.
That would make sense.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry. Just that's how it worked out. I dropped more than anyone
am
else.
bringing up the score.
That's because you're pedantic as all living hell.
At the end of this, though, I am bringing up my score for I don't care.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, we'll do random shit chat for like a minute after. Number 3, Far Cry 6 with a 6.56 group score. I'll go first. I gave it a 5. This looks... I don't play or even watch a lot of Far Cry. I'm starting to watch a bit more of it. I do love the stories with the villains and whatnot. They make very interesting villains, and this just seems like another step in that direction. So, solid 5 from me. Let's go to A11.
I gave this an 8. I love the Far Cry games. I've played all of them. This one looks like it's going to be fantastic. Again, the villains are always like the key part to Far Cry games, and I think we've got a great one in Far Cry 6. And also the DLC where you get to play as the old villains.
Yeah.
That looks like it could be really cool. So when this game drops, I'll be picking it up. Can't wait.
Ninja.
Similar to A11, I have actually played every Far Cry game, though I'm not quite as nice up on them as he is. I gave it a 6 because it's Far Cry 6. Yeah, that was exactly. I'm not even joking. That was literally my reasoning at this point, because I was humming and hawing.
Wait for Far Cry 10, everyone. That review is going to light it up.
I was humming and hawing between 5 and 7. So, and it was Far Cry 6. I'm like, yeah, you know what? It gets a 6. I said that the trailer and stuff did very well show what an utter bastard the villain is. They showed some gameplay pretty recently overall, so we've seen some good gameplay. I think they showed some more in the Ubisoft conference.
Yeah.
The season pass looks a bit odd, but I do like, as A11 said, the DLC with the villains from the previous games. I think that's going to be very interesting. I'm looking very forward to playing as Vas, if that is the case. Because Vas Montenegro is one of the greatest villains in history, and for some reason they're giving people Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon, which I just finished on Twitch, so...
Well, you gotta play it again
I don't even know. Yeah, no, not again. Killing those dragons took so long.
Encore.
I gave this a 7.25. Originally, my score was a bit lower because we hadn't seen any gameplay, but when the Ubisoft conference rolled around, I upped the score retroactively. And the reason why it was... one of the reasons I ranked it so high is because I want to know more about it, especially if Giancarlo Esposito is involved, because he's a fantastic actor. And if he loves the story, then I'm going to love the story. And the gameplay to me screams almost a Far Cry meets Just Cause kind of game. And I love the Just Cause franchise as much as I love Far Cry. And if it's as good as blended as I think it's going to be, then it's going to be a great game.
All right. We're now in the top 2, gentlemen. Do we finally crack the 7.0?
Nope.
Probably not at this point.
Probably not.
Every time you've asked, we've been at like 6.94.
I know what's going to get the top spot, and it's going to crack 7 quite easily. So...
All right,
Yeah,
gentlemen.
yeah.
Number 2. With an 8.0.
Whoa, holy shit.
Okay. Okay.
The Among Us updates. 15-player lobby, new map, all that stuff. Let's start with Liam.
I gave this game a 7. I'm very interested in all the things they're adding, including the concept of like new roles and shit, like sheriff, because that gives me a very Town of Salem vibe, and I played a lot of Town of Salem when I first started gaming online with people on the PC and stuff. So I'm really excited to see that coming into the game. I didn't want to score it too high because obviously it's a pre-existing game, and I felt like this might be just like a massive update rather than just like all new features. But if it's as good as I think it's going to be, then I'll give it a higher retroactively, but for now it's a 7.
A11.
I gave this a 9, so I kind of treated this as almost like DLC. That's how I kind of viewed it, so I thought ranking it as so was hopefully acceptable. So yeah, I gave this a 9. Similar to Liam, I think the roles thing looks good. I think that will add a whole sort of different twist to the game, bigger lobbies, map, etc. And also, once again, Game Pass. So those that couldn't pick it up or haven't decided to pick it up, I don't know why you wouldn't have played Among Us yet, but
like 3 weeks ago.
It's coming to Game Pass. I think coming to Game Pass on Xbox as well, so console Xbox players can play it. So yeah, good times.
Woo! Ninja.
Okay, so for me, I gave this a 7. Not because I'm trying to knock on the updates. I've been looking into modding Among Us for these roles for ages already, so we could play it all together. But it's a bit of a pain in the ass if you're not, a giant content creator who has, legions of fans willing to help. I say the updates are good. Getting the bigger lobbies, getting, as Liam said, the Town of Salem vibes. I'm so happy that we're going into the Werewolf Town of Salem stuff. My only issue is I wish that modders hadn't had to do it first, essentially. But looking forward to the updates. Really looking forward to playing with 15-player lobbies.
Same. I gave this a 9. So our scores, to repeat, were 7, 9, 7, 9.
Damn.
Woo.
Liam, we should have given it 6s.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I am pumped for this. There was nothing they showed I was disliking. I very, very much want this. So I'm very happy and very excited. All right, we're moving on to number 1.
I wonder what it could be.
Yeah, I wonder.
Ratchet and Clank.
Literally, no one will know.
Yeah, right? No one would ever guess that.
Number 1 is Elden Ring.
Woo.
8.63 group score from Software. George R. R. Martin on board as well. This is a 10 for me. Holy shit, I want this. It's very rare. A game comes around where I would throw Destiny out my window for 2 weeks, but this is one of those games. God, I'm so pumped to suffer through this. You have no idea. Yeah, it's going to be a good-ass time, and I'm going to grind the fuck out of it to be over-leveled to make things easier, because that's how I do things. Liam?
Elden Ring. I thought the art style and my intrigue in it is pretty high, but overall I only gave it a 6.5. I didn't see enough of the gameplay or the sound design to really warrant giving it higher, but I am interested in it, and I'll probably get it if you guys get it.
Oh, I'm getting it.
Speaking of which, Ninja?
I gave it an 8, simply because I'm not the biggest Souls player, to be honest. But for me, finally, the meme is dead. Now people can shut up about this game for a minute. For the love of God, every single chat for every single announcement, no matter what it was just Elden Ring, Elden Ring, Elden Ring, Elden Ring. People can now shut up about it. Yes, it's confirmed. We've got release window, or release date even. Shut up, wait for it, and let's enjoy it when it comes out.
Elden Ring?
Well, we're not going to shut up about it yet. A11.
Absolutely, we're not. 10. 10. Love Souls games. I'm probably much like you, Gentle, have been waiting for this game to come out. And for gameplay, I think it looks amazing. I think it looks fantastic. I will point out to Ninja that although it got shown in the Summer Game Fest Kickoff Live, which is obviously what we're ranking at the moment, when I was eagerly anticipating Bandai Namco's conference,
me too.
Everybody in there was Elden Ring, and then I know we're going to maybe talk about this at another point. Obviously, it wasn't shown in any more detail, and people were not happy that was the case. But can't wait for the game.
Don't worry, A11 and I have a big rant planned for Bandai Namco.
The only thing I will say on Elden Ring is I think it drops in January.
Yeah.
So, Gentle, I really hope for your sake it does not clash with Destiny 2's next big DLC, which also is going to drop in January, I believe. So,
early 2022, I checked. It never says January.
Okay.
So I'm hoping Bungie pushes
You
that
might
to
be
late
alright.
February.
They realistically they might do so simply because of Elden Ring.
Well,
yeah.
I hope so. Bungie has said they are Souls fans before, so I bet their own internal employees are like, please, can we delay this a little bit?
was I meant to review Bandai Namco?
No.
Okay.
No.
We cancelled after what A11 and I saw. We cancelled reviewing Namco.
Fair enough. Before we move on from this section, by the way, I do want to address two things. There was 2 actual games shown that I don't think we even covered in this list. One of them was New World, which I gave a 6.5, and the other one was Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, which I gave a 7.75.
So with Ratchet and Clank, it had actually already released.
So did Chivalry 2.
Has Chivalry 2 released? I
Yes,
didn't know that.
it's been out for months.
No, has it?
Yes.
Oh, is it on Epic?
I don't know. It's out though.
Oh, I didn't realise that either.
If I'd known that, I wouldn't have acted either.
Yeah, I wouldn't know either.
That's why I was there. Like, what the fuck, guys? Why aren't we talking about Ratchet and Clank?
Our number 8 is a
Chivalry 2
fraud.
not out on Steam.
But if you type Chivalry 2 into Google, you will get a website which is owned by the creators, which will allow you to download and play. And I've seen gameplay of it.
It does say
online.
now available.
Yeah.
But I guess when?
And
it does.
and my shit post that I wanted to mention was the new Nier game, Nier Guys Faultomata. I was really surprised they.
Fair enough. You know what? Fair enough. I didn't rank that deliberately.
I'm aware.
So that's wonderful.
I just wanted to bring it up because I wanted to hear Justin's reaction. He's the only one here I know who likes that game.
It's true. It's very true.
Anyway, that's me.
Any other final thing someone wants to put out before we wrap up Summer Game Fest ring?
No, I think that's it. At least for me.